Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video I'll be playing Olaf in the jungle. So I quickly want to tell you something about Olaf. Basically, my Olaf went from this good to this good in one game. One game as in the switch. I was absolutely garbage at Olaf, and then there was this one little click that happened in my brain with Olaf that suddenly made my Olaf like 20 times better. So I was like, okay, I have to make a video and tell you guys all about this. So I'll tell you about that during the gameplay part of the video, where you can find timestamps in the description to skip to it immediately. Let's now talk about how to build Olaf though. So with Olaf, you always start with a Trinity Force, never a Black Cleaver, never, don't do it on Olaf. And this item is where the click is going to be talked about, but we'll get to that during the gameplay part of the video. So yeah, you start with the Trinity Force, first item simply. Then next item you get your boots. So I really recommend plated steel caps. Don't get Mercury threads on Olaf because he doesn't need it. I mean, the thing with Olaf is like, sure, you can get Hunter Titan for some tenacity, so you're not always forced to use your ultimate. But you guys know how Olaf works, right? He has his ultimate to completely deny any stuns, anything. So for your boots, in 99% of the games you want to go for the plated steel caps for the armor. Otherwise, go for the glutinous greaves. Don't go for Mercury threads. You really don't need it. You have your ultimate and Hunter Titan for that. So for your enchantment, always glorious enchant. Always, always, always glorious enchant, guys. There's like, just go for it. You're gonna need it. Now, second item is situational. There is two items that I like to go for. First item that I either like to go for, second item is Starrick's Cage, and the other item is Death's Dance. So, when do you go Death's Dance? When do you go Starrick's Cage? Go for the Death's Dance if the enemy has a lot of burst. Go for the Death's Dance if you have a support that can give you shields or that can heal you up, things like that. Why? Because Death's Dance is gonna allow you to sustain through the fight. But it's obviously not going to make you as tanky as the Starrick's Cage. So only get as Death Stance if you have like a Janna support or a Lulu that's constantly like buffing you and stuff like that. Because then it's going to buy you more time to heal up, and it's going to allow you to tank up that delayed damage as well. Because Death Stance delays damage. So only get a Death Stance if you have a support with enchantment stuff, or if the enemy has an insane amount of burst damage and you want to get through it. Okay, for your third item, situational. Do you need the armor? You go for a Guardian Angel. Otherwise, just go for a Starrick's Cage third item. Generally, Starrick's Cage third item. It's just a really good item on Olaf. And then for your last items, it's completely situational. Do you need anti-healing? You get a Thornmill. Does the enemy have a lot of crit? You get Randuin's Omen. Do you want to have even more speed and armor? You get Deadman's Blade. You get the point, right? It's situational. By the way, about your magic resist item, if you have an enchanter support that heals you, you always go for a Spirit Visage. Always. Because it's gonna be worth it, because you already have some healing. Otherwise, get a Force of Nature. Or if the enemy has a lot of anti-healing, then skip out the Spirit Visage, just go for a Force of Nature. Okay? So, about the runes. First rune, Conqueror. Very simple, just go for a Conqueror. You can easily stack it up. Second rune, Brutal. Every jungler needs a Brutal. Third rune, Hunter Titan. And see, the thing here is, you are still gonna need some tenacity, because look at it this way. Imagine if you just get hit by one Senna root, which is 2 seconds, but you don't want to ult out of it because you want to save your ult for a team fight. In those 2 seconds, you can get absolutely demolished. That is why you get a Hunter Titan for those little instances, because it's going to give you 20% tenacity in the later game, which is going to make that 2-second stun a 1.6 second stun, which is much better than a 2-second stun. So you still need a Hunter Titan. Even though Olaf has that insane ultimate, I still recommend you to get a Hunter Titan. Fourth rune, Mastermind. This allows you to demolish dragons super fast. For your spells, you go for Flash and, what is this? Smite. So enough about the build, let's now get into the gameplay. I don't know what's happening. Okay, it's working. Alright, on to the gameplay. So, I'm immediately gonna tell you about that thing that made my Olaf go from here to here. Immediately, I'm not gonna waste your time. So basically, in easy words, is during your ultimate especially, understand which ability to use when, and pay attention to everything. So, okay, what do I mean with that? It sounds stupid, but what do I mean? So, back when I used to play Olaf in the beginning, you know how I used to play him? Basically, I thought that I was just a god when I use my ultimate, and all I have to do is just spam my third ability and I'll kill the enemy anyways. While that can work sometimes, that's not the optimal way how to play Olaf. So the optimal way that you want to play Olaf is you want to fully upgrade your first ability first. And like while you're fighting and while you're using your ultimate, pay attention to everything. You throw your first ability, you catch it. You use your third ability, you cancel basic attacks with it. You want to constantly keep throwing axes, by the way, and keep catching it to do as much damage as possible. You use your second ability when you want that bonus attack speed and when you want that bonus lifesteal. And when Olaf gets to a low amount of HP, he deals more damage. Because for every missing percentage HP, he gets 1% attack speed. So if you miss 90% of your HP, you're gonna get 90% bonus attack speed. So that is why it's incredibly important to really understand like how to use every single ability of Olaf. Because you know what I used to do on Olaf as well? I used to fully upgrade my third ability just because I didn't really want to play around with my first ability. Because it might be a little hard, right? Because some people just use the first ability, like they just throw it like this and they never catch it. While throwing it like that is good sometimes. Take a look at what I'm gonna try here. I tried to do a little cheesing strategy to kill him like that, but it didn't work. That's so stupid. It was a nice try. I tried to like do a full burst combo with my first ability and a basic attack, but unfortunately it didn't kill him. But you are gonna see in this game that me catching my first ability constantly, me doing a good combo with the third ability, which is basic attack, third ability, and then another basic attack, that is really what is gonna accelerate your game with Olaf. That, like that, ooh, if you fully understand how to do that, guys, that's how you become a good Olaf. Like, good Olaf. By the way, if you guys enjoyed these videos, make sure you give it a like. I actually haven't played Olaf for like 5 months or something. No, maybe even 6 or 7 months. It's crazy. I hadn't made a video. So many people had been asking me to play Olaf, but the reason that I didn't make Olaf videos is because I wasn't good at him. I didn't know how to play him, and I actually got so frustrated, and that is why now I'm telling you guys what that switch was for me, and I'll tell you more about it during the gameplay, by the way. This is truly what made me a good Olaf. This like understanding what ability to use, and especially during your ultimate, as I said, because during your ultimate you're gonna get bonus attack damage, but it's gonna remove your armor. That is the moment where you have to be very careful, because while you may look like you're immortal, you're actually less tanky when you use your ultimate. So keep that in mind. So that is why it's even more important to correctly use your abilities. So what do I mean with cancel your basic attack with the third ability? Basically, I mean try to use a basic attack before the third ability, and then right after you do damage, you use your third ability and then you do another basic attack. It's just to maximize your DPS. So let's talk about my rotation here. This rotation is the rotation that you're gonna get flamed for quite often. Wait, I'm gonna show you again. Wait, just let me. So the rotation that I'm doing here is a rotation that is gonna get you flamed a lot in ranked games, but you don't care. So basically what it is, the blue buff spawns at around 3 minutes 30 seconds. However, the enemy jungler is very likely gonna be around the dragon. So what does that mean? You can invade and take their blue buff. Then you can either take the Rift Herald or you can gank a lane. As you can see, I'm pretty much giving them a dragon, or my team can waste their time, but I am going for the Herald. So here I took their blue buff and I took the Rift Herald, and I'm potentially gonna get another turret as well. I'm trading it for a dragon, but the enemy is not even getting the dragon. That's the funny part. So I'm just taking a free dragon. I need to get it quick though, because I don't have a smite. Nice. There it is. So as you can see, this is actually a good team, because the Twisted Fate doesn't care about the dragon. He goes for the kill on the Gragas. Now we are super ahead. And the funny thing is, they didn't even go for the dragon. He's fighting me? He's not gonna win this fight, is he? I just used my ultimate, so he can't do anything against me. Slow him with the smite. Boom! Here, I could have done this better. I could have done that fight. Oh, I could have done that fight better. The way that I should have done it is, as you saw, if you rewind the video, There was a moment where I could have hit the Camille with my first ability, but I was constantly spamming my third ability to just wait for it to hit. This is the mistake that I was talking about. You don't want to play Olaf like that. Because, see, the thing is, you're actually gonna waste so much time chasing an enemy if you don't utilize your first ability to slow that enemy. That's the thing, like you're gonna waste so much time trying to chase down that one enemy if you don't properly use your first ability. Because if you just use your first ability and don't catch the axe again, it's gonna be on like a 6-second cooldown. And if you catch the axe, it's gonna be like a 1-second cooldown. As you can see, it's a 6-second cooldown if I don't catch the axe. So, you know, that's 6 seconds of not slowing the enemy. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. But when you catch the axe, as you can see, it becomes a half a second to cooldown, literally half a second. So, the difference is like day and night, right? I remember that I screwed up my ultimate again here, so that would be a good moment for you guys to see how you can screw up the most on Olaf. I think I screwed up my ultimate here. We'll see. Here, yeah. So I was diving a little too deep. I used my ultimate in 3 enemies. My Lulu saved my ass! Ah! My god, Lulu! Nice! Oh! Look at that. Yeah, I remember, I completely screwed up my ultimate there. So, there you could see an example of when you use your ultimate, you lose armor and magic resist. The enemy can actually easily kill you if you're in a situation like that, where you're in a 1 versus 3 situation. So, of course, you don't want to use your ultimate like that. You kind of want to have your team follow you up. You don't just want to 1 versus 5. It doesn't work when you play Olaf, guys. I was incredibly lucky to have this Lulu by my side. She absolutely saved my ass. So that was a horrible mistake. Like, we could have lost the dragon from that. That's not how you play Olaf, guys. Yeah, I just dropped the Rift Herald here because I want to apply pressure, and then we can go for the dragon, right? Just applying some pressure with that Herald that I got earlier and getting the dragon. I got all of this because I out-rotated the enemy jungler, by the way. You know, that the rotation that I did earlier by invading the blue buff and getting the Herald. Oh, look at that. I'm just poking him. I have my ultimate, by the way, in case they stun me under the dragon. I use it, boom, and I secure it. There it is. So I use my ultimate there because I didn't want to get stunned. I wanted to deal burst damage to the dragon and secure it with my smite. Look at this, boom. I'm not catching my axe. Look, I'm not catching my axe. Catch the axe, catch! I wasn't catching the axe. This is the perfect game to teach you Olaf. I wasn't catching the axe. Did you see how much it cost me for not catching the axe? This is the reason why I took this game, because I did so many bad engages where you can just clearly see what the mistake was, which is not getting my axe. Like, that's the one-dimensional gameplay with Olaf that you don't want to have. You want to focus on every single ability with Olaf. Everyone. Every ability. Like, you can't ignore a single ability. And the funny thing is, the first ability is probably the most important, because it deals the most damage and it slows the enemy. So, why did I not? It's just so stupid of me that I didn't do that. That I didn't pay attention to it. Am I finally gonna do it? Use the first ability? Nice, nice. Here, I'm using it. I used it there. Did you see that? I'm using it and I'm catching the axe. That makes it 10 times easier to catch an enemy because you're gonna slow that enemy. That was an example of a good fight. That was an example of a good engage on my Olaf. I used my first ability, I caught it, and you know, that's how you wanna do it. And here, to take the enemy jungle fast, you want to constantly use your first ability as well. Because Smite actually gives you a mana regen when you walk in the jungle, by the way, if you didn't know already. I believe it regenerates like 4 mana per second. So you can actually get away with spamming your abilities more as a jungler than a normal player. FYI. Use the axe to deal damage. Yeah, and I get a free turret. I'm just split pushing it, which is fine. Like, as you can see, everyone is on the other side. It's true that the Rift Herald is up, but I took a turret. I'm gonna rotate to my team, have 2,700 gold. It's fine. Like, my rotation was fine here to just take a turret. Yeah, and then you go for a Starix Gauge, by the way. It's the right choice. They're not winning convincingly, though. Yep. Ooh. However, I should be able to clean up. I use my glorious enchant, use my ultimate at the right time. Look at the axe. I catch my axe, boom, I catch my axe again. That is how you win a fight. The axe catch constantly using your third ability with the combos. And about your second ability, you try to use it when you're at a little lower amount of HP or when you engage. If you engage, you can actually burst down the enemies with your second ability by getting a lot of bonus attack speed, right? But it provides more value when you're at an even lower amount of HP. That's the thing. Because it gives you lifesteal depending on the missing HP. Yeah. You know, this was fine. This is a fine engage. Although I did screw up some of my axes, this was a fine engage because I saw that I had a Lulu. Look at this, like I'm just, I'm just completely running them down right there. Deals so much damage. See, the third ability also deals so much damage. It's insane. Look at that. Oh my god. The third ability, just the beauty of Olaf is he can shred through any tanks. That's the beauty of Olaf. Like even if an Alistar uses his ultimate, your third ability is gonna shred right through that ultimate. You're gonna deal true damage. That's the real beauty of Olaf. So when Braum uses his shield and stuff like that, you're gonna shred right through it. It's amazing. I love this Lulu. Yeah, me too. Lulu is playing incredibly well. She's buffing the right target all the time. Like she's constantly buffing me in team fights, which is really, really nice. That's what I said. Olaf becomes infinitely better when you have a support like a Janna or a Lulu or I don't know, Soraka, something like that. Because when you're buffed, you know, you can actually buy the death stance early and completely demolish the enemy. Your sustain is going to be really big. So, you know, another tip for Olaf, while he is actually still good without an enchanter support, he becomes infinitely better with an enchanter support. So, just keep that in mind. Hey, why did she take the scuttle? Junglers get more gold from that. And boom, easy secure. Ult, I need to run out. Oh, I'm gonna fight actually. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. The third ability, by the way, does AoE damage. So if there's multiple enemies around and you use your third ability, like boom, it does AoE damage, guys. So thank you so much for watching this Olaf video. I really hope you enjoyed it, you know. I saw a lot of people request me to play this champion and I hope these tips are gonna help you to become better. Well, I know these tips are gonna help you to become better. You just need to apply them, guys. So let's take a look at how much damage I did, how much I tanked and everything like that. Better than 90% of Olaf players in the same tier? Really? I didn't even see that. Wow. That's quite impressive actually. Just take a look. That's a lot of damage and that's a lot of tankiness as well, guys. So, thank you so much for watching. Let me go to here. Yeah. Yeah. I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.